And we're back with another episode of Mike on Mike. Here are the films we're going to be checking out today. The Super Mario Galaxy movie from Universal, the drama from A24, and A Great Awakening from Roadside Attractions. The first one we can check out is this A Great Awakening. It seems kind of random. I never really heard of it. 2 hours and 9 minutes, PG-13. Interesting. 2 hours could be a good time. Maybe this needs 2 hours, perhaps. Let's check out this trailer. 2 minutes.
So sleeper, awaken!
Benjamin Franklin, your brother said he could use your help at his print shop. You have my blessing.
Gonna do good things, Pa. Great things.
From the oceans through the valley.
George Whitfield, you will be an extraordinary preacher.
Remember the source of your power.
You don't believe the stories from London are true?
I am doubting Whitfield's claim that he can be heard and understood by so many. Without evidence, I won't believe it.
Let us proclaim freedom to the captives. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed.
Have you ever heard a voice like that? The blast from heaven.
Benjamin Franklin.
Reverend Whitfield? Partnering with me would guarantee the maximum benefit to your cause.
A match made in heaven.
Or just a deal made in a print shop.
General George Washington.
Today, we stand in an even darker valley.
The survival of this country must be our chief concern.
This Constitution cannot fail. We cannot let the sun set on this nation.
You are lighting a powder keg, my friend.
When you follow him, you are led by love.
Why can't I get through to you?
I choose evidence over faith. Stop trying to change me.
You have promoted the greatest awakening these colonies have ever seen. You are the lightning bolt, George. I am just the lightning rod. And who is the source, Ben?
Let them receive your gift of salvation.
One tiny candle illuminates 1,000.
Arise, O sleeper! Awaken!
Well, that looks really cool. I didn't know it was like a historical movie with Ben Franklin and George Washington. Right? I think he said that. Holy crap. Well, this looks kind of cool. I saw Bill Skarsgård, right? Or whichever Skarsgård that is. But I like that the guy playing Ben Franklin isn't like Robert De Niro. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. Who would be cocky enough to play Ben Franklin? I don't know. I'm glad this guy isn't a main guy, like, you know, like Jim Carrey in his award-winning role as Benjamin Franklin, you know, or George Washington. Like, why? Just because we need Jim Carrey. Oh, we like Jim Carrey, but he doesn't look like Ben Franklin, you know. So it's good that this guy, I guess, I've never seen him before, unless he's getting heavy makeup or something. This is an unknown actor, supposedly. 2 hours, 16 minutes, pretty interesting. Good trailer, I guess. Are they going to show, like, the death of Benjamin Franklin? Didn't he die from the lightning thing? I think that's his death. Which, if that guy's like, if that's the power, where's the source, right? Or something. If that's like suggesting he's gonna be killed, and if it's true, I'm pretty sure it is. He dies at that moment. That means the movie's gonna be over, or that's the middle point, or something. Either it's before his death, or his death is in the middle. I mean, it looks like it's about him, so probably that's how it ends, I guess. We'll see. That's interesting. It's PG-13. So I doubt they're gonna show like, maybe they're gonna show Benjamin Franklin's dead body, whatever. 2 hours, 9 minutes. Might have a lot of time to get to that. It is a drama and a history film. The plot is one of the most defining moments in American history as a story of an unlikely friendship between the Reverend George Whitefield and Benjamin Franklin. Okay, I thought he said Washington. Okay, so George Whitefield, unless it is George Washington also, I'm pretty sure they're not. I don't know. Maybe. It sounded like he said Washington. Maybe he didn't, or maybe he just said George, and I assumed it's George Washington. Anyway, George Whitefield, I'm not familiar with him, but Benjamin Franklin, yeah. This is kind of surprisingly random. Well, not really. They do historical films, but this one kind of looks cool in a way. I like history, so that's kind of cool. And that is, what's his name? Skarsgård, who plays a really good character, Cretice, whatever his name is, from Dead Man's Wire. Dude, that movie has such, like, his performance gives it the this thing to it. Well, he's not even on here. I am pretty sure that's Skarsgård. Anyway, okay, so this is directed by Joshua Ank. Not familiar with that, who that is. Known for A Great Awakening, I Heard the Bells, and Sight and Sound presents Daniel Live. Let's see, Sight and Sound presents Daniel Live. So, Sight and Sound is a production company. Interesting. Brave the Dark, 6.5 stars. I Heard the Bells. Jesus, 4.7. Noah, producer. Noah, the musical, Moses. Oh, so they're like Angel Studios in a way. But not really, because, well, these are like religious figures, right? But now A Great Awakening is not religious. It's historical. Like, this is facts, right? But this is, fiction or whatever, you know what I mean? So that would change what this studio does. They don't focus on religion related films, I guess. They do religious and historical stuff as well, in comparison to Angel Studios, which seemingly only does religious stuff, I guess. The one with Kevin James seemed to, well, a few reviews say that it kind of goes against Christianity or whatever, which makes you question, is it really for religion or not? Or is it for the money? So, pretty cool. He did all that. He wrote these too. That's good. Jeff Bender mostly wrote this. Let's see, no picture. So he's more of a helper, I guess. They're all on the same kind of work. Jonathan Blair also wrote it, alongside Joshua Ank, who directed it. And this guy, Jonathan Blair, also seems to have a role in it. So here's this Jonathan Blair. So maybe he looks like Skarsgård. He had the little nose and the little look for a second. That's funny. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. I guess he's not in the credits. Sometimes the actors, not even listed first. They're listed later. So maybe he is in it. That looks like him though. I guess he's not. I guess it's Jonathan Blair. Pretty cool. Looks like he's been in some things. Let's see. Well, not really. I Heard the Bells. Charlie Longfellow. Voyage of the Gamelin short. Found on South Street. 8.2 stars. Wow. I'm going to check that out really quick and see what the budget is. 8.2 stars. It's that good. So no financial details. All right. Well, we don't know what the budget is on that one. Anyway, pretty cool. Oh, let's check out the upcoming. I wanted to see this. Oh, this George Whitefield. Okay, so he plays George Whitefield. Not, I guess, what's his name? Skarsgård. Did that guy not look like Skarsgård? That's so funny. Dude, that Dead Man's Wire is hilarious. the way he talks and the way he acts makes that movie like such a different watch. It's so simple and stuff, and then the way he acts and the way he talks is just, the way he delivers his lines is crazy. The little humor that's in it, you know? So this guy also wrote it as well as being in it. John Paul Sneed, I guess he's playing Benjamin Franklin. He plays the main one. Wow. That is crazy. That's really cool. He's done only Bill Gunter, U.S. Marshal, 9.6 stars in 1993, one episode. What? Wow, that's a really high rating. And then Covenant Rider in 94, he played Cowboy, a cowboy or whatever, 7.2 stars. And he hasn't done anything until now. Wow. That's so funny. Over 20 years, right? More, and he comes back and he does, wow, and he does one, Benjamin Franklin. Some, like, he was like in cold storage almost, and they're like, hey, go thaw out John Sneed. John Paul Sneed. You know what we sneed? We sneed John Paul Sneed to play Benjamin Franklin. And they got him out of retirement. They said, hey, we got a role for you. And he said, I don't do that anymore. You know? And then they said, yeah, but guess what? It's Ben Franklin. And he said, oh, I love Ben Franklin. Well, I have to do this, you know? And then here he is. But Jonathan Blair, wow, he actually also wrote it. An actor, writer, and director. Wow, that's really funny and or cool. He really looks like Skarsgård. He's got a messed up eye. I wonder if George Whitefield actually had a messed up eye. Here is George Whitefield, by the way. Perhaps he... it doesn't entirely look... Well, I don't know. Doesn't really look like him, I guess. That's funny. How about the new... Yeah, well, here they kind of are next to each other. Oh, wait, if I get this one, maybe they are different people. I mean, this could be an older he could be older in this picture, but this guy's playing a younger version of him, maybe. But doesn't really look like him. The other guy kind of looks like this Ben Franklin, which is kind of funny. So the other guy who's in it is J.T. Schaefer, and he is playing Benny Franklin Bach. Benny Franklin Bach. So the son, maybe? Or a descendant of some sort? Or a young Ben Franklin? I don't know. It doesn't say young. It says Benny Franklin Bach. So I'm not familiar with that. That must be his son, I guess. Something. I don't know. A relative of some sort. Okay, let's check out. Yeah, here's a full cast. Okay, so this guy, I guess, is him. Really looks like him. I guess the other guy isn't in it. And a lot of unknown people, which is really cool. I like that. Josh Bates even looks slightly like him. Let's see what else. Let's see. Rated PG-13 for brief violence. Okay. Maybe that's Ben Franklin getting shocked. I'm pretty sure that happens, right? What other violence? Brief violence. Somebody smacks someone. A father smacks a son, right? I don't think there would be domestic violence again. Ben Franklin's a wife beater. Let's see. And then no reviews, no nothing. All right. No financial anything really. Here's the Rotten Tomatoes for A Great Awakening. Nothing yet. I guess 2 reviews from the critics and nothing from the audience. It's so Mark from Mark Reviews Movies gave it 2 out of 4 splats, saying it might have been fascinating to watch how these two characters influence each other. Such an endeavor would require a fleshed out story, and clearly that's not the goal here. 2 hours is a long, kind of it's a good amount of time. Mike McGranahan from Aisle Seat gave it 3 out of 4 stars, saying a lively historical drama with a potent faith message. And that's it. Huh. Oh, let's see. The true story of an unlikely friendship between Reverend George Whitefield and Benjamin Franklin that resulted in one of the most defining moments in American history. With the colonies on the brink of collapse, the Reverend George Whitefield ignites the first Great Awakening, uniting an entire generation with his thundering and faithful sermons and proclamations of liberty. In a miraculous turn of events, one of Whitefield's closest friends and greatest promoters becomes none other than Benjamin Franklin. With the nation's freedom hanging in the balance, the founders discover true liberty cannot only be written in the law, it must be awakened in the hearts of the people. Right, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the financial information for a different film of his, I Heard the Bells, okay? So there's no budget information for the new movie, A Great Awakening. So this is his last movie, and it only made $5 million worldwide. So, and it's probably not a lot of theaters. It only made $5 million. So I'm guessing this movie, I don't know. I mean, $15 million budget, maybe $20 million. And the last one, his last film made $5 million worldwide. So I'm going to say that A Great Awakening probably has a $15 million budget. And I'm going to say it's going to make $2 million. And I feel like it's not, probably doesn't have a lot of theaters. It's not going to make that much. People aren't entirely interested in this in a way. And then it's probably going to come in, I would say over 10th place. And I'm going to say specifically 14th place. So A Great Awakening will flop with $2 million. I'm going to say worldwide, probably domestic. And it will come in 14th place. The next film is The Drama, another film from this A24 studio. It's pretty impressive that their output is so high, that they can put out so many films, and they have such a wide variety of themes and topics and stuff, and but they're all like affordable. They're all cheap, like, they're not financial losses for the studio. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, right now they have like 5 movies at the theaters, They have 5, they have 5 all the time. They have 4 and then 3 movies and then they have 5 again, So this movie is an hour and 46 minutes. Dark comedy, romantic comedy, comedy, drama, romance. Interesting. Okay, let's check out this trailer. 2-minute trailer.
Ready and turn. Nice.
The wedding is this Saturday. What stories are you gonna do?
What do you mean, my speech?
Yeah. Are you gonna use the first time we met?
Yes.
Okay, what about the first date?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck.
You don't have to do a speech.
So you're saying Charlie is your first
Love? Yeah.
first love or your first crush?
Both, I think. Wait, is that insane?
At 30?
So I want to say this thing about her laugh. You know how it's very cute, but it's also kind of
repulsive even.
All right, so before we got married, we did this thing where we said the worst thing we've ever done.
Okay. I'll tell mine if we all do it. Promise?
What did you do?
This dog.
Beer bottles and porn.
You left him there overnight.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing I've ever done?
Okay,
Are you serious?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna order an Uber.
Emma, what the fuck?
Am I sensing some nerves? Remember, you know each other really well.
You have to stop thinking about it.
Can't you say stop?
So you are thinking about it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I am thinking about it now.
How can you even trust her?
You're being incredibly hypocritical.
I never said he was mentally disabled.
Yes, you did. You said he was slow. You said he was slow. Emma, true love is complicated. Sorry. I was just trying to do your stupid joke thing. It's about acceptance. Radical acceptance.
Why are you acting like you've never done anything bad?
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It's just, that's some drama. It's very funny.
Oh, wow. Well, that looks really hilarious. So that looks actually funny. So it looks like everything's good. They go to this thing with the friends. They get drunk, something, whatever. They all do this game. Goes too far. She says something that changes their relationship. Probably cheating. I don't know, right? Let's see. So it's got to be different, though. It can't be what we're thinking. Got to be surprised, all right? But it could be classic, just, oh, I cheated once. Whatever. It's something. I don't know. So there's that. There's conflict, which is good. Probably going to be a character arc, maybe, or some character development. They're going to change at some point, maybe, I guess. It's in some way. And then the ticking time bomb is the wedding, I guess, right? They're probably going to set up that the wedding is a ticking time bomb. And hey, this is coming up. You guys think you're going to be okay together? Yeah, sure. And they're nervous. And then all this stuff's going to happen in an hour and 46 minutes. So that could be good. And A24, again, they're a hit or a miss. So this looks like it could be a hit. That looks pretty good. Like the trailer, they cut the parts out. Now that's interesting. They dance around the spoiler and the plot or whatever, the drama. That's funny. So it's not really about that, but it's more of like how they're going to deal with, yeah, you know what I mean. How they're going to deal with that. They're going to get over it by the wedding day, I guess. If you saw Dead Man's Wire, that one had a really cool twist in it that I forgot about. I completely forgot about. Oh yeah, that could happen. And they do it in that movie, and it's pretty good. It's such a simple film, but Skarsgård's performance as that character and the things that he says, the dialogue, the humor at times, because him saying something funny is so like ridiculous. And then it ends in such a good twist. Like it really gets you. And you're like, wow, I forgot about that. That could happen. So that was really good for that film. And so this could be like that, like that had a ticking time bomb. This has, I guess, a ticking time bomb. So it just needs something to give it that X factor. And it looks like it could be Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's on-screen chemistry, probably how they, how this couple, if you ship them, if you buy them being together, if you buy their relationship, if they were cast correctly, Now, another thing I'm going to say is that because these two actors are more known, right? Everybody says they have Zendaya fatigue, right? But she hasn't said anything politically, like she hasn't said anything against MAGA, and she hasn't said anything against black people or the left or liberals or trans people or gay people. You know what I mean? You could say she's in a lot of different films, but she hasn't said anything to make you kind of hate her. Everyone says she's a bad actor. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's like this Glenn Powell, and she's just they're trying to find a spot for her. Like, what is she? Is she a Bond girl? Is she a female James Bond? Is she a really good, wife role? Can she hold a movie like Ballerina? Or, you know what I mean? Like that. Can she do her own film one day? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And make $100 million. That's the thing. So, yeah. And then Robert Pattinson, also, he's very famous. So, and he's currently Batman. And he's going to reprise that role at some point. I think like in a year or two, maybe. They're still working on that film. So, this is kind of interesting that this film is A24, right? But with two really big actors right now. And this one had it seems more marketing than the usual A24 film. Undertone didn't have that much. Marty Supreme had a lot with that guy. Timothy Chalamet went pretty hard with the marketing. He, I saw clips all over. I'm like, wow, they really want that Marty Supreme movie to do well. It as well as having all these other actors like Kevin O'Leary and Penn Jillette is in it for like a little moment, which is crazy random. So we'll see if having two bigger, I mean, they already had this, but I'm just saying that we'll have a good, kind of comparison to, I don't know if Glenn Powell I don't know, like he is known, right? But he's not like, we know more about these two than Glenn Powell. You know what I'm saying? More in that way. So, like the How to Make a Killing should have done better, I think. But Glenn Powell, like if Robert Pattinson maybe played Beckett Redfellow, I don't know how that would have turned out. It's obvious that Glenn Powell, I guess, would have been cast because of his looks and like the things he can do. He can look a little psycho-ish, a little psychotic, whatever, I guess. But he's not on the level of like a Tom Cruise, I don't think he's like a blockbuster actor yet. I don't think he's found his thing yet. Maybe it is voice acting, like I'm saying. And apparently, we'll get into that. He's voicing a character in the next movie we're going to check out in a bit, the Mario film. But yeah, so we'll see if having these two actors on screen can get a bigger opening day. I think this could do well. Like 80 million, maybe 90. I don't know about 100, but I feel like 60 or 70 at least. But we'll get back to that in a bit. So this is a dark comedy, romantic comedy, comedy, drama, romance. Again, it is 1 hour and 46 minutes. Hopefully that's good. It is about a happily engaged couple who's put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. So, really interesting. This could be the X factor if it's done well, their on-screen chemistry, the ticking time bomb, and then the conflict. So, that could be good. It could have all those things that go into a story. Written and directed by the same person. Wow. Christopher Borgli. Would check him or her out. That's cool. Last year was the year of writer-director, so maybe they're keeping that trend up. So Christopher Borgli, born in 1985 in Norway. He He's a director and writer known for Sick of Myself, Doom Scenario, former cult member. Here's music for the first time. What? That's a funny title. Let's see. So previous drama, it's coming out. 7.3 stars so far. That's not bad. It could end up at a 7.5. Dream Scenario, directed by 6.8 stars. Willem Dafoe. A short. That must be like a character thing, maybe. Character profile or whatever. One of those. Sick of Myself, 7.1 stars. Ear or Oh, Ear. Yeah, I guess Ear. 7 stars, short. The Altruist, 5.7 stars, short. Softcore, 7 stars, short. Former cult member hears music for the first time, short. 6.8 stars. It's Not a Phase, 7.7 stars, short. The Loser, 6.7 stars. Director, it's got a lot of shorts. Drib, short. Okay, in a music video. So 5 stars, 7, 6. So 7 stars average, I guess we can go with that. 7 stars average. So that's good. And then he's also written all this stuff too. Yeah, it was a he, right? Sorry, the name I forgot. Christopher. Yeah, Chris. Christopher. I guess it's Christopher then, huh? Christopher Borgli. Okay, I'm going with that. Christopher Borgli. So he wrote all of them as well. So that's cool. That's good because the guy who did Undertone, Williamson, I think, I don't know, that's the Scream guy, I think. Whoever did the Undertone film was a writer-director first time. He did a bunch of stuff, or 2 things or 3 things, and he did that for $500,000. Hopefully this is a low budget. So this guy wrote it, directed both. Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Alana Haim. I don't know if I want to check them out. Guess we could. But check her out first. She is known for a starring role in Paul Thomas Anderson's film Licorice Pizza, for which she received critical acclaim nomination for the Golden Globes Award for Best Actress, Motion Picture Comedy, or Musical, BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, and Critics' Choice Movie Awards for Best Actress. Born in 1991. Okay, so she's in One Battle After Another, Haim, The Mastermind, Taylor Swift Bejeweled music video. So she's in the back of something? That's funny. Licorice Pizza, Rustum from the back of a cab. Haim, is that maybe her band or something? What else? Cool. Upcoming, the Heidi Fleischer Fleiss story, Jacqueline, rumored to play her. Cool. Then she could be a good supporting actress and eventually get her own film. So let's see. I guess we could check these out. Robert Pattinson, let's see what is coming up with him, because he's in a lot of stuff. Die My Love, I didn't watch that one yet. Mickey 17, watched some of it. Let's see. The Batman. Upcoming 5. He's in the Odyssey. Okay, cool. Atinus. Dune Part 3. Oh, yeah, he's... Interesting. Here Comes the Flood. Didn't see it. Batman Part 2. 2027. That is so weird. I guess it's okay. There's too much. They do so much with Batman. It's like, do another character for once. Prime Time. That one. Oh, it's completed, but not announced. Interesting. I think Zendaya is in that also, in the Odyssey. So check out Zendaya really quick. Wonder what her real name is. She gets one name. Look, Zendaya, which means to give thanks in the language of Shona. Wow. Her name is literally to give thanks. If I interviewed her, I'll be like, hi, I'm here with to give thanks. That'd be hilarious. She'd be like, oh, you read my profile on IMDb. I'll be like, yep. That'd be so funny. American actress and singer. Oh, I didn't know that. I wonder if she does music. I think that other girl does music. Haley Steinfeld. I think she's actually like also a musician. Let's see. She began her career child model working for Macy's, Mervyn's, and Old Navy. What? I wonder if that's funny. We probably seen her then. That's hilarious. I never thought about that. Never knew all of this stuff. She was a backup dancer before gaining prominence for her role as Rocky Blue on the Disney Channel sitcom Shake It Up. Wow. Which just includes other people. Zendaya was a contestant on the 16th season of the competition series Dancing with the Stars. Wow, that's random. She's done a lot since 1996. Let's see what else she's going to be in. On Dream Together. Oh, well, she's 4.8 stars for, oh no, a video, not a music video. It looks like a music video though. Emma, and then what else? Upcoming. So Euphoria. Oh yeah, forget that she's in this show called Euphoria. I see it and stuff, and I never really watched it. That's funny though. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't get it. I think she's pretty. She's beautiful. She just goes to work, does her job, and leaves. She doesn't stick around and goes to like No Kings protests or like is out, like AOC or whatever, or out like anyone in politics, whatever. She just does her thing. She's just everywhere. She's not even in that much. That's why I don't understand. She's not even in that many things. Yeah, Spider-Man, I guess he's a weird MJ. Maybe Kirsten Dunst, influenced a lot of people's, like what they think of what she should be. MJ should be a blonde girl, maybe, but now she's a she looks like Zendaya now. She's got dark hair. Like, she looks way different. So I don't know. In the first Spider-Man movie, her role is hilarious. I thought it was pretty funny. But maybe people don't like that. I don't know. The movies are very successful, so I think people like her. She's in the Dune movies, which I think that's a good role for her. Shrek 5, she's getting into voice acting, which is like a backup thing. Glenn Powell's doing it. And then, what else? The Odyssey. Yeah. So she plays Athena. That's going to be such an insane movie, all on IMAX. Holy crap. That's probably going to be like a time thing. I don't know what Christopher Nolan's going to do in that one. So yeah, that's the cast and all that. Here's the pictures are of them. Cool. Anybody else secretly in it? Not really. Cool. And then, so 6 reviews so far with a 7.3 star rating. First one is 7 out of 10 stars. A fun and enigmatic experience. I enjoyed it. Not sure if it's memorable enough to be great. I don't think it's absurd enough or moving enough to be something more, but it's a fun watch. I thought it's a visually well-crafted film. The sounds and music are well picked. The colors and camera work are very good. I thought Pattinson and Zendaya were great, but I've seen them both with more chemistry with other actors. They can get away with it, though. The story keeps you on your toes and has some good surprises. 7 out of 10 would recommend. Well, that sounds good. That's exactly what I was saying. It seems like maybe they could be a little bit better. Maybe they should have crafted it a little bit more. You know, taken more time to fix a few things for the on-screen relationship. But that seems good. The colors and camera work are very good. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a good review. 9 out of 10 chaos, chemistry, and a whole lot of drama. Wow. If you're into films that feel like a slow spiral you can't escape, the drama is that. This is definitely one of my favorite films of this year, but please don't go in expecting a proper happy rom-com. It's giving full pressure cooker energy. Tense, claustrophobic, and so alive, it generally made me shift in my seat a few times. And the score, perfect. Like a constant hum of anxiety just sitting under everything. Uh-oh, you know what? That sounds fake. That sounds like AI. And the score, perfect. Just like a constant hum of anxiety just sitting under everything. That is worded just like AI. We'll see. The casting is kind of ridiculous in the best way. Robert Pattinson is in his absolute finest form here, like fully locked in. And Zendaya matches him beat for beat without even trying. Dude, no. This is totally AI. The chemistry is actually insane. Sharp, messy, a bit toxic. But you cannot look away. The human doesn't write like that. Dude, come on. Really? There's this black comedy thread running through it that makes you laugh and then immediately feel a bit bad about it, which I loved. Also, wasn't expecting it to go there thematically. It digs into some really unexpected themes you wouldn't think of. You wouldn't think would come out of a setup like this. It's clever, uncomfortable, really funny, and honestly just hits. There's a slight Woody Allen-esque rhythm to the dialogue, but darker, messier, more modern. Not and more modern, more modern. Absolutely one of the best things I've seen this year. Get the hell out of here. That is absolutely an AI review. A person could have done it and said, write a good review because I liked it, but this could have also been from the studio. Now, do you think A24 knows about this or is involved in this? Or this is an A24 fan, a real fan or something like that, who likes the studio and likes the movies and thinks he's helping, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're kind of steering people wrong and doing a crappy job. This is straight up copy and paste AI. Look at it. 3 perfect little paragraphs. And the worst wording. I mean, come on, Jesus. They didn't even read this. They did and they said perfect. this must be a kid or something. Who thinks that this looks like believable? Wow. On this movie, come on. You know, this could be a thing too with 6 reviews. That could be a sign that this movie's not doing well. And some of them are fake reviews. 9 out of 10 extra Z's for these Z's. Another 9 out of 10. Let's see. This doesn't look AI though. Let's see. Man, I'd rather chat with my mentally deficient neighbor about the latest meth head exposing himself in the park than watch Pattinson and Zendaya play at sophisticated Woody Allen, Nora Ephron, metropolitan comedy. Him all tussle-haired and awkward, her grinning with wine with the buddies. Ugh. What is this? The Himes always add something extra to any film, and Zendaya's smart to add to her backlog until she's inevitably replaced as Mary Jane by Sydney Sweeney. Sid's boobs are unstoppable. They can't be reasoned with, they can't be bargained with, and they will not stop until they've taken your career and every other one within a 3,000-mile radius. The trafficking 2-parter on Marshalls is pretty darn good, though. Definitely recommend that. What is this? What the... Jesus. This is absolutely bizarre. Is this supposed to mimic the movie? Who writes this? It goes into a completely confusing, first off, review, and then it goes right into Zendaya, and then it goes into her being replaced with Sydney Sweeney, and then it goes into her breasts, Sydney Sweeney's breasts, to be specific, and then it goes into this reference, which is, I forgot what movie that's from, and then the trafficking 2-parter on Marshalls is pretty darn good, though. What? This must be a reference to what? Someone wrote that and pressed enter. What in the world? 8 out of 10, typical Broglie movie. A funny satirical drama which is all about drama. I think the movie is really interesting and kind of funny in a black humor way. I also completely agree with that. What it wants to say. Performances are fantastic. Every actor is just amazing in it. It's very elegantly shot in a typical Broglie way. If you have watched Dream Scenario, there's definitely a sense of continuity visually, but also thematically. This seems a little more real, right? This is a typical A24 Broglie movie produced by Ari Aster with his square peg. You can feel the presence. Okay. I also super appreciated the ending. One of the most interesting movies I watched in the last months. Go watch it. It's worth the movie theater, even if it's obviously not your typical mega IMAX blockbuster. And as far as the story goes weird, the movie has its heart, and it clearly shows by the end. See, that could be it. That could be the X factor. It has a sense of cuteness to it. Whatever these two actors are going to bring to it. And almost there. 9 out of 10, fantastic movie, slightly compromised by saccharine ending. Well, I don't want to read that in case. 7 out of 10, a razor-sharp black comedy until it isn't. I could read that. Black comedy is a slippery genre. One wrong step and the whole thing face plants. The drama, directed by Christopher Borgli, stays on its feet with real elegance for most of its runtime, then fumbles at the last moment. Until then, it's a sharp, often generally funny send-up of couple dynamics and wedding rituals, anchored by solid work from Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. The film loves to mock what's usually treated as sacred, and it lands plenty of mean but well-earned laughs. Visually, it's slick to the chilly Northern European vibe. Okay, despite being set in Cambridge, Massachusetts, gives it a polished, sophisticated edge. That style almost makes you overlook a strain of underlying misogyny. Almost. The story would feel far more believable if the carelessly revealed secret belonged to the groom-to-be, not the bride-to-be. But the real biggest issue is the final scene The moment the movie should go all in and stick the landing, it hesitates. It's frustrating because the film is this close to saying something sharp about how love and relationships often handle lies and hypocrisy better than truth, especially when truth spills out after one drink too many and it deserved a bolder ending. Okay, well, now that sounds like a very good review, doesn't it? It didn't say what the thing is. That seems like what is probably gonna be like the ultimate review, you know? Now, how come this feedback wasn't created at the time? If this final cut that they're gonna show right tomorrow, over the weekend, and it's getting this review, which this sounds like a really good review, then this should have been the test screenings. And they should have gotten this person to go and see it, and they would have gotten this review, and then they would have fixed it. They would have brought in both of them, and they would have rewritten the ending and say, hey, let's fix this ending. It's almost there. Let's bring this person in and and contact this person and find out what this person actually has to say. I guess they say it. It should have been the bride has the issue, not the bride, the groom. Yeah, the groom. So, okay. The groom should have had the issue, not the bride. That's probably because the groom always has that problem. Maybe they wanted to say, hey, I'm gonna go with it's cheating, I guess. I'm gonna go with it's cheating. Let's just say it is. It's always the guy cheats. Maybe they wanted it to be like the girl cheats this time. You know? So that could be that. But the ending really seems like that's going to be the issue. So that's why, yeah, I feel like this is going to do well opening day. And then it's not going to last long. So those are the IMDb reviews. We'll read a couple of these Rotten Tomatoes ones, see what they say. So here it has, I guess, 82% from the critics, over 98 reviews. That means that the audience, right, is probably going to not like it. Let's see. So Deborah Ross from The Spectator gave it a splat, saying it is intended to shock, but it may not be as shocking as it thinks it is, or even very convincing. Barry Hertz from the Globe and Mail gave it one splat, saying there is some drama here, all right, but the curtain can't draw down soon enough. Huh. Danny Lay from Financial Times gave it 2 out of 5 splats, saying, with giddy glee, Borgley is testing our discomfort for the taboo he drops into the heart of his film. Yet he also seems sure you will think the drama almost as brilliant as he does. Yet he also seems sure you will think the drama is as brilliant as he does. Okay. So that guy should read this review and be like, wait, the end, and then go back and fix it, you know, and there'd be such a good movie. Lock Me Deb Roy from First Post gave it 3.5 tomatoes out of 5, saying not just a humorous romantic success story, the drama is much more complex than what you think it to be. What you can think it to be. It is indeed a raw and intense love story and a very intelligently made film. Chase Hutchinson from The Inlander gave it 3 out of 4 tomatoes, saying, yeah, while the filmmaker's latest lacks the same withering and ultimately mournful power as his feature debut, 2022 shattering Sick of Myself, it also proves to be far more interesting than his hit and miss choices, maybe? Samuel Leggett Jr., well, I'm not going to read any more of those. That's the kind of all over the place. No critics stuff. I mean, audience reviews. Okay, so that's interesting. Now let's see if there's any financial information. Probably not. Let's see if usually it says not bad. Wait, was it rated R or PG-13? I forgot, actually. Let me check. I thought it was... Oh, it doesn't even say. No way. What? But they were cussing. Huh. Was it more than one F word? If it is, it's rated R. If it's... I heard one F word. If it was just one or maybe two, it's PG-13. Huh. If it's PG-13, they're going to have to tone it down a bit. Right? If it's rated R, they have a little bit more room. That's weird. It's actually doesn't have a rating yet. What if Rotten Tomatoes has it? Yeah, see, okay, here it's rated R. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Okay, so yeah, so I guess, yeah, rated R. Interesting. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, she says that. Well, there's probably no violence. Well, the pictures have black eyes and stuff, right? Some of the promotional pictures, they're like beat up, I guess. We'll see. Maybe it's like comedic slapstick stuff. So no financial information. So A24. So maybe this isn't pure A24 because this has Live Free or Die Films as well as Square Peg. And that review literally says, you feel these styles. But that's why I like Marty Supreme and Uncut Gems. That to me is pure A24. The crazy, hectic, weird stuff, the cool camera work, the crazy shots, and the beautiful, dreamlike music. That to me is A24. And the weird shots, sometimes experimental filmmaking with a big actor. It's so crazy. But that to me is A24. So if this has that, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, it should, like, Marty Supreme ended in the way of just, he sees his child. You know, the whole time he doesn't use condoms and all this stuff and blah, 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 and whatever. And he really is, he's whatever. He's like not a good person, whatever, and all this stuff. And then he gets to see his child, whatever. This just kind of has to go in that direction. You know, you're going to want them to change. You're going to want them to get married in the end. So, I don't know. So, it's kind of funny. Okay, so my final guess would be that I think that this movie, there's no budget, so I'm guessing $30 to $40 million budget, right? A24 usually has low budgets. I'm going to say that. I think people are going to go see it, and it's going to make $70 million opening day, and then people are going to write the review saying, oh, the ending sucks, it's not that good. It's really good, and then it falls off. Don't go waste your time, money, or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then it's probably going to end with 90 to 100 million in 2-3 weeks, maybe. I feel like the interest is going to drop once the word of mouth gets out, like that review we just read. So yeah, my final guess is that it's going to make 70 million, maybe 80 million. I don't know, around there. And then I think it has a good chance to come in 5th place. And now we can check out the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The first one is kind of interesting, very fun, very beautiful, very pretty. Cool that they stayed true to the game. They do the old 2D game from the side, you know, all that, whatever. Pretty awesome. So, and it was like an hour. This is the hour and 38 minutes. That's incredible. That's really cool. I guess maybe you do want 2 hours because it's this, but again, an hour 38 minutes makes it where they have to cut out the wasteful stuff, you know, get to the point, give us the Mario stuff that we want, give us funny things, all this stuff, give us the game stuff, all that. And then it being short can also be a benefit in that it has a good replay value, you know? You can watch it again. It's not like, oh, it's 2.5 hours, you know, look at your watch. Do I have 2.5 hours? I could watch half of it and then I could watch the other half later. The first one was also an hour and 40 minutes or something, so that's pretty cool. And it's PG, so let's check this trailer out.
Beard once more!
2.5 minutes.
There's a huge universe out there. With a lot of galaxies.
We gotta get everyone out of here. Go, go, go!
Mamma mia.
I demand that you release my father.
Over my dead body.
Fine with me.
My Koopas! Your king has returned!
Long live the king!
The Bowser name shall be feared once more!
Oh no! Everyone calm down.
Toad, pack our thing.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Oh, princess, you're going to regret that.
Hello, maggots.
Huh, okay. So who was at the end, though? So I wonder who this is here. Because has keys jangling and is holding that.
Hello, maggot.
Oh, unless, oh, I guess it's this. Oh, okay, okay. The shot was weird. So this is the character also. Wait, but I thought the thing in this one is the character, which I said was a different Fox, whatever. Fox McCloud, which I guess they ended up revealing. Not sure why. I didn't see it in this trailer, though. I thought there was a shot of this character, Fox McCloud's gun, I think, from the side. Oh, but I think they accidentally left it in the trailer. And then for some reason, I guess they just went through and confirmed it. And it's voiced by Glenn Powell, which I said he should get into voice acting. I think that's pretty funny. So this is an action epic, adventure epic, computer animation, fantasy epic, globe-trotting adventure, slapstick, adventure animation comedy family. An hour and 40 minutes, 6.7 stars so far. Directed by Aaron Horvath, Michael Jelenic, and then Pierre Leduc. But check out Aaron Horvath. So he is a director, producer, writer. He was born in 1980. He did the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Teen Titans Go to the movies. That's funny. And Teen Titans Go, he has been married to Brooke Cadoret since April 4th, 2009. They have 2 children. Pretty awesome. So he has done all of this. What is replayed? Huh. That must be, I guess, a short movie. It doesn't say it, though. That's like an actual movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, and then Mad. Cool. And then Titans Go. So, we're gonna have to check out what the last one made. If the budget isn't available for this one, I think it is actually. The budget for this might be $200 million. Michael Jelenic is the other guy. He's a producer, writer, script, and continuity department. So he must take a picture of the set probably and get things ready so the actors can leave and come back, and then they have a picture, and then they set the scene up again the same. Make sure the hair is the same way, make sure the lighting is correct, all of that stuff. He was born in 1977. He did the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Batman the Brave and the Bold, 2008, and Teen Titans Go. He's married to Maggie Martin Jelenic since October 2012. They have 3 children. Let's see, Thundercats Roar, 2.2 stars? Jesus. 28 episodes? 2.2. Jesus. What else? Teen Titans, Scooby-Doo, Batman vs. Two-Face. Okay, a lot of animated stuff. Written a lot of stuff. Also, Jack Black Peaches. Wow, he wrote that music video for... Oh yeah, the last movie. Yeah. I got confused with Minecraft. See, everyone says like Zendaya fatigue. What about Jack Black fatigue? It's always him or The Rock. What about The Rock fatigue? No one says that. You know? People hate and love The Rock. So, I don't know. He's in like a lot of movies. So he's done a lot of these animated things, I guess. Cool. Jackie Chan Adventures. Oh my God. I love that show. That is so cool. That is awesome. Okay, so this guy did all that. And then Pierre Leduc. This guy is in the animation department and a director. He is known for The Grinch, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Despicable Me. No profile. Let's see. Oh, no profile picture. He did Sing 2, The Grinch, Despicable Me 3, Sick Life of Pets, Minions, Despicable Me 2, Despicable Me, cool, Runaway Brain, cool, so not bad, a lot of experience for him. In comparison to the last guy, he has more of a better average star rating, so they'll have good experience with a good star rating, I guess. Pierre Leduc has the most, these other ones have less. And then Matthew Fogel wrote this all by himself. He's a writer, composer, producer. He's known for the Super Mario Brothers movie, Minions: The Rise of Gru, and the Lego Movie 2, the second part. He has done all these movies, all this stuff written by, wow, he wrote, the last one, Minions, Big Mamas, that's random, like Father, Like Son, 4.5. Good thing he got out of that whatever area, moved over here to these more IP scripts, I guess, right? Composer, The Wire, the musical. Wow, that's random. Untitled Strauss Schoolson Focal Pilot TV movie that never got picked up, I guess. Wow, a TV movie. So do you want to do it? Oh, so it has no title. He want to do a TV series, I guess. Interesting. And then upcoming, Silent Retreat and Bob, the musical. Cool. So yeah, it's got good experience. Those are some big movies. Here's a cast for this film. Glenn Powell, Anna Taylor-Joy. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I guess. Oh, she probably did the last one then. I didn't know that. Chris Pratt. That's. Everyone says he's like a bad actor. Mercy was weird. His acting was, I don't know. Maybe it was too much Chris Pratt to where like we notice, hey, this guy is not really, he should be in the back more. Like, you know, he can't hold his own a movie on his own, I guess. Jack Black can. Brie Larson, I'm surprised. Voicing Rosalina. Interesting. And then Benny Safdie from, he did Uncut Gems, right? I think. Oh, they split, right? That was the thing. The Safdie brothers split. So he's playing Bowser Jr. Keegan-Michael Key, yes, he's playing Toad. Charlie Day as Luigi. That's funny. His voice is hilarious. Donald Glover as Yoshi. Isn't he doing like a real like Donald Duck type of a performance? You know what I mean? Kevin Michael Richards as Kamek, Luis Guzman as Wart, Issa Rae as Honey Queen, and then Roxana Ortega as Ukiki at Scooter. Cool. I wanted to check out Glenn Powell. I just wanted Fox McCloud. So they finally confirmed that. Okay, so yeah, I just want to check this guy out because God, he's so weird looking. I mean, in a good way, but like in a standout kind of a way. Like when he does this, when he does his acting though, he's so weird. His little smirks he does, his little the smile. It's so funny. So let's see. All of a sudden this guy is around. So here is his kind of profile. I don't know much about this guy. He just kind of came out of nowhere. Glenn Thomas Powell Jr. is an American actor. He began his career with the guest roles on television, small roles in films such as The Dark Knight Rises. Really? I didn't know that. The Expendables 3, before making his breakthrough performance as Chad Rodwell in the Fox comedy horror series Scream Queens. He has since starred as Finnegan in the coming-of-age comedy Everybody Wants Some, astronaut John Glenn in the drama Hidden Figures, Charlie Young in Set It Up, and Lieutenant Jake Hangman Sarazin in Top Gun Maverick. Wow, so these are really, I did notice him in this Dark Knight Rises. So that's interesting. Expendables 3, he must have really small roles or something, I don't know. And then these other movies are kind of smaller movies because I never heard of these. And then I've heard of him being in Top Gun Maverick. So that I think might have been his bigger role that kind of put him more on the map. So hopefully this will help boost that with the kids, the kids will be, who's that guy's voice? Who played Fox McCloud? Oh, that was Glenn Powell. And then he'll hopefully get more views and get more roles eventually. And, he's kind of iconic in a specific way. He stands out, right? So let's see what else. I want to see what he's is going to be in. So How to Make a Killing was just not amazing. The Running Man wasn't amazing. Chad Powers, isn't that his? I think he plays the main character in that. And he's got a lot of experience with being, I guess kind of a lead role in a way. He actually had some voice acting as Quiet in Rick and Morty. That's cool. TV series, Top Gun Maverick. Wow, all this recently too. That's interesting. Top Gun Maverick has 8.2 stars. That's really good. Robot Chicken. Okay, so it's had some voice acting experience. That's good. Expendables 3. He plays Thorn. I must have missed that. Or he looks different, maybe. Maybe he looks younger or something, you know what I mean? But he has a lot of stuff. Holy crap. That's crazy. I want to see whatever he's got upcoming. 5 movies. More Chad Powers. Oh, wait. Oh. No, that's just kind of recent. Okay. The Great Beyond. Untitled Glenn Powell, Judd Apatow Universal Project. Huh, that's funny. The Natural Order. Ron Howard, Untitled Firefighter Film Project. That could be a 9/11 movie, and he plays a firefighter. Cool. So he's got some. These are all live action. No more. If they're probably gonna do a third one, right? We'll see if Fox McCloud. I don't know much about that character, if he's a good guy or a bad guy. So we'll see if he's gonna end up living or dying at the end of this movie or whatever happens. Because then Glenn Powell can reprise him in the third movie, which would be kind of cool. And then he'll get. Well, he was in the first one, so yeah, he'll get 2 pretty big movies with big IP on his resume. Okay, so now we can go down to here and check out some reviews. It has 129 reviews already. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a couple of these. So 9 out of 10 stars, not 100% faithful to the video game, but it will still please a true Mario fan like me. Well, If anyone is expecting the Mario Galaxy games to be in the movie, they might be disappointed. But if they're hoping for something new that will please a Super Mario fan with classic references, even from the 1985 game, while still retaining some of the essence of the Super Mario Galaxy in terms of space travel, other worlds, etc., they'll leave the theater satisfied just like I did. That's awesome. And if any Star Fox fans missed Fox McCloud, I think they'll like this movie too. But in case any Mario fans are worried, don't be. Fox doesn't steal the spotlight from the main heroes Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach. Well, there you go. That's probably a good enough review, really. 5 out of 10, a love letter to fans. A headache for critics? First off, credit where credit is due. Illumination addressed some of the major complaints from the first movie. They finally moved away from the generic top 40 soundtrack and leaned in heavily into the vast, iconic library of Super Mario music instead. The sheer volume of references to the various games is staggering. As someone who has played every single entry in the franchise, I recognized exactly where every nod and cameo came from. All of this could have been the foundation for a truly great sequel. Unfortunately, it seems the writers were either fast asleep or let the janitor's intern cobble the script together. Compared to this, the first movie felt like an Oscar contender. Wow. That's the only way I can describe the drop in quality. The predecessor already struggled with pacing, feeling rushed. Wow. And as if it didn't have enough time to breathe. This sequel suffers from the exact same issue, only made worse by the atrocious storytelling. I understand this is marketed as a kid's movie, but a huge portion of the fan base is 30 plus. Exactly, yes. They should have made it rated R. That would have been hilarious. They're all cussing and there's blood and stuff. No. For that demographic, there was practically nothing offered beyond the surface level fan service, and that simply isn't enough. Wow. Huh. You either make a movie like this, right, and you cater to the new people or whatever, and you dumb it down and you make it for the kids, right? Or you make it for who's going to see it, you know? Probably the people who grew up with it, and they could probably have even used AI and found out how many people exist in this age and who would likely probably watch this film and then write it accordingly, you know? So they changed the music use. That's good. The first one struggled with pacing and feeling rushed as if it didn't have enough time to breathe. And this one suffers from the same thing. That's funny because I was saying that's good, but maybe it needed 2 hours. Huh. That's so weird. Yeah, this might have just needed an hour and 55 minutes, 2 hours. Wow. Well, that's interesting. So the critics are going to hate it. Watch. The fans are going to love it on the Rotten Tomatoes one for sure. I'll read a few more. I don't know what this is. That's a lot. 6 out of 10 stars. A galaxy of moments without a core. Wow. This feels like a movie built around moments and references rather than an actual story. Like Minecraft, right? It's just the game kind of whatever-ish. This is kind of a story, but I got 5 stars. It's like 5.6, I think. I just watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie on opening day with my daughter, her friend, and her friend's mom, and overall I had a good time. But I also left feeling like something was missing. I was a huge fan of the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. One of the things it did really well was how it handled Easter eggs. They were there, but they didn't feel forced. They blended naturally into the world, and it made the whole experience feel cohesive. Characters like Donkey Kong were integrated in a way that actually added to the story. This time around, the plot is very straightforward, almost too straightforward. It's clearly designed to be easy for kids to follow, which is fine, but it comes at the cost of depth. The movie feels a bit lifeless at times, like it's missing an emotional core. See, that's the X factor. And conflict would be, you need to make Luigi and Mario mad, and then Yoshi has to get them back together. and then they have to overcome their issue and fight Bowser or whatever, right? You know what I mean? That's so much better. One example is the relationship between Princess Peach and Rosalina. The reveal that they are sisters had potential. Okay, well, this might be spoilers. And there's a bit of a backstory, but it never fully develops. That relationship could have added real weight to the story, but instead it just kind of exists. The Easter eggs where things feel off. Instead of being woven into the story, they feel often feel forced. Wait a second, this other guy just said they literally just said that they don't feel forced. And then now it's saying it does. Instead of being woven into the story, the Easter eggs often feel forced. What is this review? Why is this guy contradicting himself? There are moments where the movie almost directly recreates original gameplay sequences, like the first one where they're running. I love that. Like the lava rope scene with Bowser Jr., and it just doesn't flow. Oh, no pun intended. It pulls you out of the experience rather than pulling you in. But, like I was saying what the Justice League movie should do, or could do, is when they fight, the camera goes to the side and it looks like you're playing Injustice. I thought it'd be cheesy and corny, right? But that's what the game would do. And the closest reference to that is at the end of the first one, the only one, Justice League, when Superman flies in and Steppenwolf is here, he flies in and it pauses, sort of, kind of. It almost looks like Injustice game, Superman versus Steppenwolf. So, but that's what this is, right? Like, even in Mortal Kombat does the fight scenes, but if the camera goes to the side and you see the character versus the other character and they do a stance, that would be an exact reference to the game. And that's what this movie is doing. But this guy up here says the Easter. This is the first one. But that's okay. So I'm wrong about that. But I think he's still wrong because the first one has the obvious. When Mario is running at the beginning to either get Luigi or he's behind him, they're running, and it goes to the game, and it scrolls as he's jumping through the construction yard. You know what I mean? But maybe that is woven into it in the way that that Mario's going and then he runs through it and the camera goes to that. And then it goes. So, but this is saying that these don't feel natural, but the lava rope scene with Bowser Jr. directly recreates original gameplay sequences. But that would be the same thing, right? Let's imagine it. They're near a lava thing. They're going to go, and then it goes to what the game would look like, and then it goes back to the movie, which is what they did in the first one, right? Which is the same thing. I feel like this guy should have read this before posting this. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So I was wrong about that, though. He's talking about the first one, not this one. The first one did better with the Easter eggs, even though I don't think it did. It straight up goes into the game or whatever at times. And again, how else do you do it? You know, Mortal Kombat does the fight scenes, you know, and I guess that is more like subtle, but it's still what the game is. I don't know. That's so strange. Anyways, that said, Yoshi absolutely steals the show. His scenes feel natural, funny, and actually integrated into the story. Watching him use his tongue mechanics and turn enemies into eggs was both entertaining and true to the character without feeling forced. But how is any of it forced? It would be forced. It's a Mario movie. You know what I mean? I don't know. There are also some interesting additions, like the appearance of Fox. But even that feels more like a cameo for the sake of it rather than something meaningful to the story? Really? Well, maybe that's why it's not heavily featured in the trailer then. It's not the point of it then. However, there are some good aspects. The movie's world building is visually impressive, especially the central hub area where different creatures are going about their business. It almost feels like the filmmakers are going for a Star Wars style environment with a busy lived-in universe. It's cool to see elements from the game like question mark blocks being used as a part of everyday life. Wow, that's cool. The music also stood out in certain moments. Bowser Jr.'s scenes had a tone that felt reminiscent of that classic Empire style. Very grand and imposing, with hints of something like Holst Mars. It's not copying, but the influence is definitely there. In the end, this movie feels more like a spectacle than a story. It's entertaining, especially for kids and longtime fans of the games, and it's packed with references. But compared to the first film, it lacks cohesion and purpose. It feels like it exists because it can, not because it has something meaningful to say. Wow. Still, if you're looking for a visually fun ride with plenty of familiar elements, it's worth watching. Just don't expect it to hit the same level as the original. Really? Oh, that's a shame. Hopefully the third one has to be good, you know? It seems like these are moving along more like how the games are, rather than naturally what the story would be. You know what I'm saying? Like, in comparison to Avatar, where Avatar 2, The Way of Water, is Quaritch is back as a new character, and he finds out that Spider is his son, and he wants him back. But Neytiri doesn't want him back. And then Jake is conflicted too, and then he doesn't like Quaritch, so there's conflict and stuff, and whatever. See, like, that has more of a thing, you know? But that is also a sequel continued to the first. A sequel is more of the first while exploring something new. And Avatar 2 is a good example because of that. So, but say for example that Avatar is like, if it did that, the first one is that, and the second one is Avatar, but it's like maybe they're gonna go, their planet is dying and they go inhabit a new planet. No Quaritch, no Spider's there, but he's not the plot, you know, or something. So like that would change the whole story. And then the third one would be, I don't know, something on that planet. And it's like completely three separate films is how it would be in the end. So hopefully this doesn't suffer from that, you know? Like Minecraft 2, for example, would have to be, you know, like, okay, I don't know, it's not an example, but it's something, whatever. Someone comes back. Tron Ares would have a sequel to that, because at the end, who's that? Whatever the character is turns into the character at the end. You know, if it's at the end credits scene or whatever that was, that guy turns into another character. So now that guy's going to come back with and maybe go after Ares, who's in the real world living now. See, that's more of Tron Ares, not like another Tron movie, and then it's just a completely different story. You know, a new program is here. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It's, you know, it should kind of connect to the last one in a way, whatever. You know, so there's, you know, loose rules within that. So yeah, this is interesting. I don't think this is a fake review. It seems pretty real, I guess. See, more like a spectacle than story. Yeah, they just needed to be like, they're maybe like, maybe they got famous for some reason from the last movie in their world. And now Luigi and Mario are both like, they don't know, one doesn't want to be famous, one does, they don't know what to do next. They get mad, they leave. But they're needed to work, to go, to fight against the villain. And then Yoshi has to get them back together, and they don't like each other, and they kind of sabotage each other, and, you know, they go up and down, and they succeed, and they hate each other, and they go back and forth. And then they finally overcome that to work together to beat the villain. And then they thank Yoshi, and Yoshi's the heart of the movie, and he gives it that X factor of sweetness and cuteness, and, you know, the villain gets defeated, and then Fox McCloud could be an anti-villain who ends up helping in the end, and he redeems himself as a hero, you know? He comes and saves them. maybe at some point, whatever. Now, that would be a better story sprinkled with these game moments like the first one. And I think it would be better. But that's what it sounds like this movie is going to suffer from. So I'm not going to read anymore. These seem pretty straightforward. 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 4 out of 10. More underwhelming than the first one. I think the Avatar movies are getting burnt out. Like, they keep making them. They're going to make 4 and 5. Why? They're getting a little less, and they are making less money if you compare them globally. You know, their worldwide gross, they're going down a little bit. They should have, you know, they should stop here. They made the first one really awesome. They made The Way of Water, and you know, it's the second one, and Fire and Ash is basically part 2. So they should stop with this sequel. They have two movies. You know, but they should stop here. They shouldn't make any more, right? Okay, here are the Rotten Tomatoes for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Does it have, 43%? Oh my God. 43%. Wow, the critics really do hate it. Yeah. Wow. 91%? 1,000 plus verified ratings. Well, there you go. Wow. Maybe for this movie, it's not going for that. Maybe it is going for this kind of game reference thing. But again, though, look what it's supposedly missing is story and a heart or whatever. You know, it's a skeleton of a movie. And again, they should have just like done the test screenings and been like, hey, the people want heart in this movie. Okay, we need to make Luigi and Mario hate each other. We got to make them hate each other. We got to make Yoshi be the cute one. We got to make them get everyone back together. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Hey, oh my God, there's Bowser's here. He's opened a portal or whatever. He's experimenting. Who knows? Something's happening there. We have 2 hours. Mario, Luigi, get your crap together. We got to go beat this villain. You know, and then, they just can't. They lose. And then they try again and they can't. They lose. And they finally get over it. They work together. They beat the villain. That's it. That's all it needed. And then it would have been 43% fresh, whatever the other rating is, on both sides. Or it would have been liked on both sides. 80% tomatoes, whatever. And then 91% on the audience side. Popcorn meter, whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Audience says Mamma Mia, and Nintendo nostalgia hits again in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, delivering Easter eggs, joyful wonder, and a spirited cast that makes this an instant replay. Let's see. Critics reviews. Gene Park from the Washington Post gave it 2.5 out of 4 tomatoes, saying the secret to Mario's infinite lives is that we keep giving them to him. Is that bad, right? That sounds bad. James Scott from the Austin Chronicle gave it 2 out of 5 splats, saying nothing in the film I saw elevated, accentuated, or even double jumped its video game counterpart. God, these are some well-worded reviews for sure. Jake Wilson from The Age in Australia gave it 2 out of 5 splats, saying I can accept Disney princesses as a convention, but I'm starting to find the royalist propaganda scattered through the Super Mario Cinematic Universe a little grating. What? Jeez, really? Don't make it political. Tania Lamb for Lola Lamb Chops gave it 1 tomato, saying the Super Mario Galaxy movie has a bit of everything except maybe a plot. There you go. Well, it's going to make a lot of money, I bet, right? Probably going to make a lot of money. James Berardinelli from Real Views gave it 2 out of 4 splats, saying I felt like someone had tied me down and forced me to watch 90 minutes of Saturday morning cartoons. Wow, geez, these are brutal. Alistair Harkness from Scotsman gave it 2 out of 5 splats, saying its funniest moments occur when the film finds sly ways to incorporate the pastiche, the gameplay of its source material, which it does too frequently to build anything as subversive as the whatever. Wow. So those are actually all of the Rotten Tomatoes reviews from the critics. Now we can look at the we could read trivia. Rosalina and Bowser Jr. make the first non-video game appearance in the film. In addition to this being the first time that Bowser Jr. has a male voice actor. Wow, cool. Let's see. It's made $48 worldwide. What? If that is not a good sign, I don't know what is. No. If that is not a bad sign, I don't know what is. $48 worldwide. That's like 2 tickets, isn't it? That might be 1 ticket in some areas. That's a Cinepolis. That's a total Cinepolis receipt. Wow. So that's hilarious. I know this is like, not updated, but that's hilarious that this is even there. We got to check the first one and see how much it made. The Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay. 1 hour and 32 minutes. Look how beautiful those colors look. Jesus. That is so... Imagine having that as a poster, you know what I mean? That is so cool. Look at that. That is crazy. I gotta go full screen. Look at that. That is so cool, isn't it? Beautiful colors. So, let's see. This one, 7 stars. Yeah, this same guy did it, right? Yeah, he wrote that one. And it's the same people. Let's see. 7 stars. Mixed reviews. Praises include vibrant animation, nostalgic references, enjoyable voice performances, blah, blah. And enjoyable voice performances, particularly Jack Black as Bowser. Critics highlight the film's fast pacing, shallow plot, and reliance on fan service rather than a compelling story. There you go. Well, then, even these movies kind of have 6.5. Do you think they'd be 7 at least? You know what I mean? So let's see where I want to check the stuff. $100 million, okay? And they made $1 billion worldwide. Wow. Project Hail Mary it would like to make $1 billion. Holy, 100 million, I guess. That's not, yeah, I guess it's pretty intense, but it's not like amazing. I'm surprised it's not 200 million or 300. I heard this one is 300, the new one. So the first one is $100 million and they made $1 billion. 1.3. So the first one made $146 million opening weekend, which makes me think that this has to do about the same. Maybe it's opening yesterday, right? It's with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Early screenings are now. Maybe they said, hey, let's get ahead of it so we can make a little bit of extra money so that they can do all the big IMAX and get the most money they can to get a little ahead. They must have had a meeting and brought up their reviews and said, okay, we're aware that this movie has issues that, they're saying there's no story, right? And they're like, yes, we know. We're going to do the same thing. They decided, yes, we're going to have kind of a lesser story as well on this one. It must have been a point in the meeting, right? They can't be oblivious to this. So I'm going to say this movie will make $150 million opening weekend. And then maybe 160, 170. And then it's probably, it might make a little less. But I think probably eventually it's going to make $1 billion. In 2 weeks, it's probably going to, I guess the kids are going to love this movie though. They will. Their parents are going to be like, oh, they want to see an IMAX. All right. They're going to buy all the popcorn. They're going to make all the money they can. They're going to get all the money they can. Spend all the money they can. So, yeah, I say this movie will make $150 million opening weekend and then eventually probably make $1 billion in the upcoming weeks. And I want to boldly say that this movie is going to make it's going to be in first place. I really want to say that. We'll check the box office out in a moment. And then definitely first place, if not second, or definitely second, if not first place. But I'm going to say first place, $150 million opening tomorrow by Monday. A Great Awakening from Roadside Attractions seems pretty cool, nicely produced, and I think that it just will not do so well because people don't have an interest in that, even though they should because it's history. It has no budget, but I'm assuming maybe it's 15 million, maybe 20 million, but I do think it's going to flop with $2 million, and it will come in 14th place. The drama from A24 has an unknown budget, but I feel like it's probably $30 to $40 million. I think it will pop with $70 million and probably get mixed reviews, and then word of mouth will get out saying it's kind of weird, and then people will lose interest, and it'll end with $90 to $100 million, and it will be in 5th place. The Super Mario Galaxy movie from Universal has an unknown budget, but the first one was $100 million, so I'm guessing it's probably around the same, 150, maybe 200. I think it will definitely pop with $150 million, just like the first one, and it will probably eventually make $1 billion in the upcoming weeks, even though it's going to suffer from not having a plot, just like the first one. And I believe that it will be in first place, if not definitely second place. Okay, here are the current box office numbers. Project Hail Mary is still in first place with 163. That is domestic. It has to make a lot of money. Hoppers is in second place, 140. They Will Kill You in third place, but with $4 million, almost $5 million. That's weird. I heard it's pretty good, and then it kind of loses its steam after one certain thing that happens. But the stunts and everything looks pretty cool, and it was a $20 million movie, apparently. Reminders of Him is in 4th place. Durandar the Revenge is in 5th place. 22 million, 41 for Reminders of Him. 6th place has Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Apparently the story is similar to They Will Kill You. Very weird, very funny. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come has made $16 million so far. 7th place has Scream 7, pretty funny, with finally 118 million. Goat, 8th place, 100 million. That movie is pretty cool. Undertone is in 9th place still. Forbidden Fruits, 1 million, 10th place. That one, I guess, could have done a little bit better. The Pout Pout Fish is finally on here. Maybe they brought it back. They said, hey, some of the goats dropping out and whatever else is dropping out. So, Nick Offerman, come back. So, but that, I mean, now it's made $2 million. It was at 500,000. So maybe by the end of its thing, it's probably going to make 5 million total, which is not good. 12th place has the AI doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist, at a terrible $646,000. Nobody cares about that. The Mummy Returns. It's back. It returned. The Mummy has returned. And has made 202 million so far. Stand By Me. Is that one movie? Wuthering Heights, Avatar. Yeah, here are all the rest. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Got a lot of movies. Oh, let's see where the AI doc didn't do well because it has 786 theaters that it's at. The Mummy Returns is at 1430. And then the rest are all being taken out. Let's see. Yeah, that was about the same. I wonder what these two movies have currently. The Mario Galaxy movie, the drama, and A Great Awakening. I don't know. I think Super Mario Brothers would definitely. Wow, it has to make over 160. Okay, so it might come in second place then. It's gonna make more than Hoppers for sure, And I mean, it has, yeah, it could knock Project Hail Mary out, but so that's his biggest competitor for sure. The drama, I said 5th place. Yeah, that's possible. It's definitely gonna make more than, I said 70 million opening day. Now I might be a little too generous, but that's definitely probably gonna put it in the top 5 for sure. And then A Great Awakening. Nah, I said 14th place right here. It's probably gonna make, what did I say? I said 2 million. Probably 1 million. So, all right, and that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Those are all the films that are coming out. Comment down below about which ones you think are going to do the best. How much do you think the Mario Galaxy film will make? And I will see you in the next episode. Peace.